Hello, everybody. Welcome back to this episode of our BlackPink BP Leadership. Yeah, it has been a long time since we meet. Yes.
Yeah.
Nhi, what have you been busy with?
Wow. If we're going to talk about what we've been busy with, I think for me myself, you guys need another 2 weeks to sit down the podcast because too
Yeah,
many
yeah.
things been happening to just share in a one. But in a short form, because when we do this podcast, I have time to share with Pauline too. So I able to connect with a lot of amazing Vietnamese nation artists
Mhm.
about handcraftsmen. So I'm really in the project of to help sustainability and to make save their job and save their talent. And then I
Mm,
also be going a lot of submit back to back. I think it's just a submit time. I don't know. It's just every day is submit. Yesterday my team also went to Apple together. So
yeah.
Apple was invite us to come to experience of the
Wow.
place and training. It was an amazing experience. I think my team will learn so much from the
Mm.
professionalism from Apple and everything. So yes, it's just back to back thing happen. How about you, Pauline? You busy too?
Yeah, I'm busy because I'm relocating to US.
Yeah.
Found a partner and starting some of the health tech industry over there. Yeah, so it's a new because I've been wanting to do the wellness business and healthcare is actually one of the biggest area in the next 10 years where people get to know more and more about the importance of longevity and wellness. It's not just about medicine and drugs, although we work with also big companies like Abbott, AbbVie, those kind of big companies as well. So those pharmaceutical companies, still, these are things that we are looking at in terms of helping people with understanding more about healthcare and using AI technology to service them even better. So also help the pharmaceutical to do jobs that's better in terms of using the AI process. So I
Wow.
think this is coming a big way that more companies are looking at. Even for me, is a very new area for me. I used to be from the financial sector,
Mm.
education, financial, and now I'm dabbling into something that, frankly speaking, I know nothing about. This is a for me to learn everything all over again. So I'm really happy that I start from scratch. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the past experience that I have is not going to apply. So things on leadership, in management, still it is applicable. So today we are going to talk about this really interesting topic when a leader is no longer the center leading through the ecosystem. So
Mm.
this is the part where I think that's why Miss Nee and is going around training up the teams, right? Going to summits. So the thing is this, we all think that the leader should be the center of the universe, but probably nowadays is not really that true. Although we are one of the key people over there, but we also want to manage our risk to make sure that the lower the key person risk, the better is for the organization, right? Yeah, because like for example, I know now a lot of people are talking about the US, especially the tariffs, and also with Elon Musk. Now there's a lot of things that's actually coming up. So what if like leader like Elon Musk is gone? How is the ecosystem going to be sustainable? Right? Yeah, things like that. So probably Ni, I want to ask you this question. So you lead a really big team right now, and you mentioned just now you brought them to like Apple, and you're attending all this summit. So what is the turning point that you realize that being the central figure of the business is no longer sustainable? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think from day one, um, when I moved to Singapore, when I start learn all this and start understand more about how to run a proper business, not just call yourself entrepreneur. And when I'm in my 18, I make that mistake. I opened my first business, and my team never exit more than 10.
Mm,
And I always ask myself why, how people can do a big company and why I only 10 and I cannot grow bigger. And that's where I learn what is scale and what do you need to do to get there. So when I'm start doing my team again, which is after Ava was 2 years old, I start my business again. And the first thing I aim is I train my team, I train the leader first. I'm going to pass a lot of responsibility and tasks. I'm not going to focus on one. I'm not going to take the big decision when I don't give them. If people hear me,
the mic, I think there's some, I
is it
don't
too
know.
far?
Oh, now it's
Too near?
okay.
Now it's okay. Okay, so I need to be nearer. Huh. So I'm not going to let them take responsibility when they not knowing the knowledge or they don't able to handle the situation. So that's
Mm,
why from starting of running my team, I'm already aware of it. When
mm,
people focus about customer or revenue, I only focus on my quality of my team.
mm.
I want to make sure everybody inside, like you grow the tree, you plant
Yeah.
the seed, but you also have to nurturing. So the first few years of nurturing the team, I'm very aware like how much water you need to give, how much pressure you need to give, how much protection you need to give, or how much the weather outside or like environment and mindset and you can list on it.
Mm,
So that's how I aware of it early on. And now for the last 1 years I did not inside, I almost not even in any meeting. I only in the meeting if the client is very important to me
mm,
or it's a very important for me because I know them or because I want to introduce them with my team. Other than
mm.
that, after that, I'm not the team take over. So
Yeah.
I think we have to go to that place where I should not always do all the job because that's not how it should look like. Yeah, so yeah, so it's the team is important and I know I want to scale them. So
Mm.
I have to have strategy from day one. How about
Yeah.
you?
For me, at the juncture when I was in my previous organization where it has like 200 employees and it's a listed company. Right from day one, also me and my business partners we know very well because we're in the education industry, and very often education industries sell the people, right?
Yeah.
Like for example, Tony Robbins, a is one of the popular ones, and of course there are some others. I'm not going to name them. So if they are not in that business, is it still going to run? You see, so we understand that. So in that right from the beginning, we don't brand ourselves. Although we are the leaders in the company, we don't really brand ourselves. We brand the company, we brand the program, we brand the product, we brand how good it is so that it runs in the ecosystem. So, of course, they would know who are the leaders, no doubt, right? But still, once, let's say, we are not in the system, okay, we make sure that the system is still able to run to make sure that the business can function. So that's the reason how we can expand to replicate the system in Malaysia, in Taiwan, in Shanghai, to have the office and still run really well over there when for my previous company. So I really find that yes, it is kind of like the central figure for leaders. But what we could do is we could groom multiple leaders in the company. It's not just one person. So there will be like a few key person that we can groom to become like the central figure in case one is not around. There are still the others to lead the company. It is still important, right? So it's always important to when we are in the business to know who is the second generation leaders, third generation leaders who can take over us, who can become the right hand man, and we can trust them and continue to groom them. So of course the system must be in place as well that they have a stake in the company. So they are not just like employees. If not, it's going to be very difficult for them to really work their heart and soul for the company. So that the compensation and benefit system must be also in place to make sure that this could be done, right? And also, of course, the whole ecosystem, yeah, for the team. Yes. So
That's
that,
cool.
that yeah, that comes to the next point. But when we first start, we started from a startup that we do everything ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Miss Nee knows when we are still a small company when she's here, she knows that a lot of things also we do ourselves in my previous company. That's how she knows me. And I believe in her company too, does everything herself and she's a very
Oh yeah.
hands-on person. Yeah, everything she knows. She always tell me, Nee always tell me, if I need to do AI, I must go and know what is AI first, right? I go
Yeah.
and study it, learn about it, and after that, I go and teach my team, right?
I think
So,
now you were shocked to know, but I'm in the another courses of SMU right now, like
yes,
many module to just learn about data scientists,
oh, data scientist, yeah, okay,
Python, AI. I'm like, why am I? You know, when I'm sit there, this is I have to say because I laugh at myself. When I sit
uh-huh.
there, I don't understand 99.9% what the professor say. But I'm aware that I have to be there to understand what is going on outside. I cannot just hear it from a perspective of just any random people. And yet
Yes.
it did grow me a lot. It did grow me a lot.
Precisely. See, because she wants to dab into she needs to be. You see, as a leader, there are times that do we just lead? Yes, we could just lead, and we could employ the right people for AI and for the new technology, right? That was what I used to do. But even that, we have to be involved. Okay, we don't need to know everything, right? We don't need to go in depth, but as a leader, we need to know it. We need to know what is the implication, how it's going to be like, just like me, I stepped into the healthcare industry. I also went to Harvard Medical School to get myself a certificate in health, the what they call the lifestyle medicine, right? So that is where we constantly have to kind of like step back and as a leader to learn to help our team to grow stronger. So the team will know if the leader is actually learning, what is stopping them from learning as well. So it builds a culture. I think that's a really good way to build a culture for the team. So the maybe I also want to ask Nhi to maybe share with us something. Maybe you can describe the moment when when you step back as a leader, what has actually changed? Like for example, you now talk about you go into AI, you learn about all these things. Now, what has then changed in your team? Maybe you want to give us some case studies or examples. Yeah,
I think
some
the
scenario.
first chaos chain is the leaders that struggle how to solve the problem without me
Ah,
next to them, right? So, for example, when you train people, you sit beside them, not in physical, but you in phone. So
mm,
when they have a problem, they text you, you can respond straight away, just for a leader, not the below. But when you start busy, just say you go for submit every day, you go for class every day, you fly, you sit with client, you networking, you ex,
mm,
extend your circle. You're not
mm.
on the phone. I'm not even on the phone. That's why if you see text, I don't sometimes I don't even read for a few days because I really not on the phone.
Oh,
So they have to face it, right? Because some private submit you go, phone not allowed for a few days because you only networking and private with a lot of people. So again, I think that's the chaos, and then they have to learn how to deal with that situation and handle the company. But that's make us as a leader gain muscle. You can't
mm,
just you can't just solve the problem you know, and the problem you don't know you just wait for the people ahead
mm,
of you. You just have to find a way because on that journey you, oh, actually I have my way too, and my way is to work too. But just solve it first and later we see is that a bad or it's okay or it can be done. So that's how I see the big problem. Next one is client, right? Even I told them that team will handle, but they would love to handle by me and all that. So that's also something that I have to manage or let it go. Let it go, I mean let client go. Uh, because I also don't expect work with people that they too demanding on me or don't understand that I have a team. You know, you're not a center of universe. I cannot work with you alone. I have to do other things too. So yes, so that's a two thing: client and my call it lead team. How about
Yeah.
you?
I think what has changed when I step back as a leader, it was probably after some time. Really, I was really involved in my previous organization, very
Yeah,
hands on, and every time I'm known to be the problem solver. Yeah, I'm known to be a problem solver. So anything they will know that as long as Pauline is around, it will get solved, right? Because they can rely on me. So after
yeah,
some time, I realized that might be an issue. So even my business founders will say, if there's an issue, they'll say, okay, is Pauline here? So they ask me in to see how whether I can think of a solution and solve the problem because of my experience. And sometimes I can really think out of the box, right?
yeah,
So and for me it's also I can think of different implications. Okay, that's my strength. That means if you come up with a solution, I can think of the three steps ahead. Yeah, what is it? I think that's what a leader should be able to do. So when I step back, what I do is what has changed is, but it's not easier. First thing is like what Ni have said, it is to really, you need to be able to let certain things like make mistakes,
yeah.
right? There's a
Exactly.
cost. Really, there's a cost to it.
It
Right?
is. And
Like,
sometimes the cost can be finance. This
yeah,
really, that's the level. It's not
yes,
just
yes,
simple. Because your
yeah,
team can make a decision that make you lose money.
yes, yes. But we have to do that because it's like growing of muscles, right? You have to
Yeah,
break the muscle in order to grow the muscle, and in order for muscle to grow, you also need recovery, right? So this is where what has changed is it actually changed how my attitude is like not to be too focused on just on financials. I mean, short-term financial it may jeopardize, but longer term, okay, it grows the team. I think it's worth it. Yeah, to let them first of all, but of course we have to equip them with the right decision making process, the system. Okay, so as they go around to have more, I would say I let go a bit and let them take charge. Actually, I train them. Yeah, and I monitor. Okay, so it's not all, and I let them take the risk that is not detrimental to the organization. Of course, as a leader, we cannot just say, okay, well, I'm going to trust my team and this is going to be like multi-million or billion-dollar contract. It's not going to be like that, right? So it is going to be, let's say, I'm going to start off with you doing this. And if you make a mistake, it's fine. I will normally tell them, it's okay to make the mistake because I'm there. All right. I know how to salvage it in case you didn't do it well. So this is something that at the start, I would actually do. Right. Yeah. So, but I think that's good because subsequently the team really know what needs to be done. So these are, and they grow and they learn.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think doing work, if I would love to say, is almost everybody in your team already knowing it when they already repeated doing it as SOP.
Mm,
But a leader who be there, like inspire them, motivate them, move them, and make them thing done. I think that's what, if you don't let leader practice, it cannot be done. Even myself, up to today, I still feel I have to practice a lot.
yeah.
You know, I still have to practice the it's just different set of skill and different
Mm,
set of problem that we have to face when we grow a leader. Like Pauline, she moved all the way to US now, and you know it's she start new thing again and start all over again to learn, because even at this young beautiful age, she cannot be sit still in Singapore. You know what I mean? It's just in our blood. We have to do thing and make thing done and lead the team and inspire. So how can you pass that to your team? How can you
yeah.
let them know that, hey, you confident to lead the team? I'm here with you. I will be here, and anything support, I will be with you. We're not going to let them die. You need to
Yeah.
get us, like, we just let them fail and do mistake, because if
Yes.
without mistake you can never learn. You have
Mm,
to fail, you have to make mistake, and
yes.
then on this we adjust and then we get better. Quick
Yeah.
adjust.
Correct. I mean, do
Yeah.
corrections, you see. So this is where that's why I never like to say failure this word, because I don't think it's a failure. I think it's always, you make a mistake, it's actually a success, right?
Yes.
Who saying mistakes is a failure? No, it is a success, because after that you learn about it and you get better,
Yep.
right? If you don't know what uh the ways that it can't work, you don't know the ways that we will work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the mentality I think we need to do. And that comes in the key difference between building a team and building an ecosystem. Right. So today our topic is really about, how we lead through these ecosystems. And we talk a lot about like ecosystems. Probably some people won't know what does it mean by an ecosystem. So you want to explain to our audience, what is a definition like an
Yeah.
ecosystem to you? Yeah.
So ecosystem is like you when you run a business, you should not be there, but without you, the business still run. But at the
Mm,
same time, the business should apply to take care of human,
mm,
environment, um,
mm.
government, your
Wow.
business partner, your team member. So for you to achieve all that, sound like a lot, but actually, if you do it right, it's very smooth. So let's say we just take one of brand that people already know, then they aware of it. So just say, let's say Amazon, right? So in Amazon, what problem they solve? They basically take the food from the person A, which is farmer. Amazon will deliver to the person B, which is a consumer. But at the same time, if you are a company, right, you're going to tap into the app to buy, uh, to ship more big thing or move more stuff from your company left to right and so on. You can tap into the software solution, right? So again, is that equal? Like, and you have the government there where you generate more job for people.
Mm,
What is a help environment, right? Of course, if you do more thing that not um, plastic, then of course you will help more to human. But that's how a summary, quick one I can explain that
yeah.
the business should run on its own, and
Mm,
you should not be run around and do the handyman work.
yes. So yeah, an ecosystem is really important. Like, any business cannot just run on a person. There must be a system. And when we talk about the ecosystem, it's really where everything just flows together, right? Yeah, from, let's say, even the HR, like the recruitment selection, to the people, to training the people, and from
Mm,
training the people, the finance know when to pay the people and how to manage the finances, do we have the budget, and also then comes with the operations, was able to run the operations well when the sales and marketing team bring in the business. Okay, so all this system has to be in place. That's why we term by an ecosystem, that it really works uh, in all everybody, and it's not a case of departmentalize.
yep.
Departmentalize, like the team departmentalize means, oh, I'm marketing means marketing, I'm sorry, I just market. And operations, what you do, none of my problem, you just think how you solve the operational issue. No, an ecosystem would really be when the system in place, it has to flow from, I have these qualities of the people, and the qualities of the people from HR will come over to know how to do sales and marketing. And when they do sales and marketing, they will have like the right product development. The right product development, people will know this is how you could market it and go to the market strategies, and followed by the next step, which is operations in running it, in servicing the customers, and then etc. Then after that, to finances side. So this should work like a flow. So that's
Yep.
where the company would really run well, and the leadership will be great if a company can do well in such an ecosystem. So the key thing is this: it sounds easier than, it sounds so ideal, right? It's easier said than done. So
Oh my
we
god.
there will be some limiting fear, limiting beliefs, internal fears, to trust that the system works. So what is the some of the key fears that you realize in you, or probably your team, Ni, like,
Yeah.
when it comes to
That
this?
theory is just beautiful until you apply it.
Yes.
I, when you sit in the campus and you listen all this theory and case study, and you're like, wow, I can do the same, I can run my company the same. It's so exciting. And when you come back and you realize that the real problem is not about the theory, but about, is that everybody in your organization understand the theory? Is that everybody in your organization have a same level of education like you, and
Mm,
the commitment like you, and the heart and the moral like you? Because not everybody will upbringing value the same. The
yeah.
value affect the decision they make, and the value affect the choice they make. People say sometimes not what they mean, and they
Mm,
can say it in front of you, but behind of you they do it differently. And that's when, in the journey of me, and sometimes I, like, my friend bring theory to me and talk to, I say, your company, you can do this, it's soft. I say, you see, the thing with theory is, I'm really try, and I can see that no matter how good that theory is, without human, the theory is just a theory. So
mm,
how can you persuade all of people around you
yeah.
to go the same at this theory that we're going to talking about, like to move the company to that direction? After for a while, people feel like, but why? Because not easy when start up, when you starting run the business, you cannot straight away expect financial flow like a river, and no business like that. I don't think so. Everyone have a build up a struggle of that, and slowly they build the product and success or service, and people well known, and it take time.
Yeah.
But in the theory, it sound like, oh, you do it today, tomorrow your company will be ecosystem. uh, and a lot of correction, a lot of um, awareness with the around environment, like you say, in the world right now, when the decision maker is politician on top, and the person wake up on the left, he make a decision, on the right he make a decision and affect the rest of the world. How can you going to adjust your business? Like every day you just have to adjust, or you don't adjust and you let it moment pass away. So all this very hard choice every day for you
Mm,
to sustainable for your ecosystem decision making. Yeah, for
yes.
me, that's how I see.
Yes. I know that the fears would be whether people are really competent enough.
Mm,
That's actually, and the other thing is, of course, the limiting beliefs will be the trust issue. Yes. People being people, there are times where they will always find that they are victimized, right? So if things goes wrong, is it me that I should take responsibility? Well, most of the time, it seems like if things go wrong, it's other people's problem, right? It's never my problem. So that's where it is something which we have to really train up the team. And one of the key values, maybe later on we can talk about values, is the values of in the organization has to be very sound. Like, for example, what are the values in the organization? So when the values are clear and is aligned, then that would make the ecosystem work. If the values are not aligned, there will be quite a number of things that will not work. And this is where the limiting beliefs would come in. Yeah, limiting beliefs sometimes would always be things like, people are not competent, that leaders don't trust their people because, oh, they are not competent, not good enough. But do we think so? I don't think so. I always find that our team members are really good. It's just that we as leaders need to know what are their unique strengths of
mhm.
individual. Put
Yeah,
the
I
right person
agree.
in the right seat. So a lot of times when I realize, okay, 80%, not all the times, okay, 80% of the time really is because we didn't put the right person in the right seat. Just let me give you an example. I've got the other where I have one team member. He's with me for very long. But when he first came in, he used to be one of our students, and from students he became our volunteers. And he has the right education qualification, which is in terms of a finance degree, and he
Mm,
worked as a broker. So he knows, because we do stocks investing, so he knows our business really well, you know. So when he came in, he wants to do business development because as a broker, he does a lot of like sales as well to get people. But after that, I realized he didn't do a good job. he's not really a business development person. Okay,
Mm,
so he didn't really go through his 3 months probation, but his attitude is really good. Okay, he
mm,
did his best. It's just he's just not a business development person, a BD person. So what I did was I had a chat with him, and I talked to the other and realized that his strength is actually in terms of membership. He's good with people, but he can't do really sales to get sales to come in. That's not his forte. So what we do is we actually shift him to become in a membership team and to help the members. And because of his knowledge in terms of investing, he's always able to be there, and he's the one to manage our highest level of the high net worth membership people. So he did
mm,
after that he did really well. He came up with
mm,
quite a number of initiatives. He's able to service them well because of his knowledge. All right. And he's very likable. Okay. So the same traits of being likable, all right, being able to know the product doesn't mean the person is good at sales. Yeah. So instead, he becomes like a very good membership manager. And he did really well with that. So really, trust the person. And as a leader, we need to be able to identify the strengths of the people. So that puts me maybe to the next one. Just now we talked about like values, right, or principles that
yep,
must be present in this ecosystem. Now I talked about my organization in the past. We do have quite a number of the values. One of it is like responsibility, ethics, integrity, because we deal a lot in terms of finances. All right. How about you, Ni? What are the core values in your organization that you find that it really works for your organization? Now, everyone is different, but I would
yeah.
say that, yeah.
I think the attitude and the care for other.
Mm,
Um, I'm aware most of the time I will not be around with my team, and I would love them to care for each other in work and care for the client. And all this care easy to say than done because we've been brought up with, oh, only my family is important, you know. You should just treat your work at like go work and come back.
mm,
um I know a lot of people still saying it, and they say that my organization a little bit too much like, wow, you guys look like a family, you guys don't look like a team.
mm,
uh but that's the unique of my team, and I'm still not plan to change that because
mm,
that's make us grow as a human. You know, we spend most of the time with our colleague and our team member.
mm,
We not spend most of the time with the family. So why do we make that 8 9 hour of working is a miserable time? I don't get it, right? And for me, if I have to work with you, I have to feel trust.
mm,
And if the trust not there, how can I will leave you alone to handle the work that is supposed to be done? And the trust only come when relationship being built. So that's how I experience in my life. Again, this is my personal opinion and experience and how my style of leadership is. So
mm,
value attitude. Like you have to, you can don't have a skill. And it been day one for me. I can see a lot of people come to my team that is very young. I lead a very young team. You see that they can don't have a skill, and I'm okay if they don't have a skill, but they don't have an attitude of willing to learn the skill or the talent. That is a big problem for me. Or like or they have a skill, but they don't have an attitude of serve and working. They kind of like come to work and, oh, you asked me to do exactly. I press the clock, and at the time I'm done, I'm gone. Right. So the attitude of you do your job, but you learn to do your job better for yourself, not even for me, because I will always think of, if you're going to leave my organization and you work for anywhere else, if you have this quality of self improvement, your life will go so far. Your life
mm,
will go different with the rest of people who even do the same job as you, who work in the same place as you, and who competitive in the same industry like you. Right? You definitely can. You may not be the best, but you can be ahead a lot of people with this attitude. So yeah,
yeah.
so that's what I'm value the most in my organization.
Yes. Yeah. Values are really important. And I always focus a lot when it comes to, especially when the organization is big. really. It seems like, well, we talk about values, and it's just okay. This is something that I never like when it comes to the organization. They always like to
Mhm.
paint and hang the values, no, hang the vision, mission, and values. And every
Yeah,
time, when we go to an organization, they do their first presentation. It's always okay. Our vision is this to be the best. Da 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 da. Our mission is this to provide. Da 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 da. And this is our values. Our values is honesty. Maybe care for people and maybe integrity. Da 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 da. Those kind of stuff. But it is not just words that is on the wall. In order
yeah,
for us as leaders to really build an ecosystem and really being be not being the focus, not being the center of the focus, is to really build a culture where the culture people can feel about the values. This is that's something that I think Ni has done really well in her team, that we feel it. You see, when what this is what values are about, because the people really, when they come to me, when I was with the team, they really care for one another. Yeah, they will cover for one another in the event that there's a need, right?
yeah,
So that's why it works really well. Yeah, and if there is someone who doesn't feel that way, he or she will be out of place and will
yeah,
not be able to be in the team. So this is how important a value system is. And when it's there, it's there. It can't be fake, really. And if it's a fake, it's like a fake. Then everybody is like having. Then you will know there's a lot of politics in there. You can also feel it. Yeah. So that is where I will find that values are really important when we want to establish really a big company in a leadership. Then that comes to the last question. Maybe you can walk us through how you identify and empower the right players to take ownership inside your business ecosystem right now. Yeah, I
oh
know you have some key players over there because I always work with them. Yeah.
yeah. uh I think that's my gift. My gift here I'm talking about is I can meet the person and I can spend some time with them. I know what the gifted inside them, like what, where in the organization exactly you should book them in, right? So, for example, I have a boy who he very smart, like his brain is smart, but he can't work with other people much because he very introvert, or he very
Mm,
quiet, or he think a lot. So the only person that he can simulating his brain is me. Like we have conversation like very deep, like because he always asks why, but why, but why, but why. If you don't patient to answer him why, or you don't patient to guide him, it can be lose a talent. Because when
mm,
come to work of thinking, he can think very good for strategy for your team, to give you all the risk factor that may happen, and from there he do the research about that, and he give back with data backup and information. So people with um, the brain like this, they normally not very socialized and like friendly, right? But they are good person. Or like I have a person who are in front, very well motivated people, very inspiration. Everywhere he appear, people love him. People like, oh, I like it, he like his energy, I like his vibe. But back end work, he's a messy, right? He not organizing, he don't know how to save file, he don't know how to. So how can I make these two person work together as a team, right? How can I make these two person together at, okay, you are the front leader and you are the back leader, but are you happy with it? Are you both okay with it? Okay, then let's cover for one another, right? So if you have to do something that talk to the team and motivate, you have to take over for him. And when the team come with information, data, file, and backup, any message, you cover for him. Do you both agree? But even that, you have to keep adjust until they get it. Okay, look, leader is not mean just in front, right? I have a many type of leader, and my leader type is just different. And I actually can be teamwork with another leader. So yeah, that's that's something. It's funny that I learned on the way of. First you have to see their talent, and then you book them in the right place, which is that's what Pauline been mentioned early on. You spot the talent first, because spot the talent, this one I can't teach, because I think I really have it naturally in me. Like some people I meet and they ask me, "Oh, do you think I'm suitable to be a leader?" And you know me at my mouth and my character, I say no, no, don't. You will be disaster. But people who I spot they really potential to be a leader, I tell them, "Hey, you very potential to be leader. You should train and you should learn and you should groom to that direction. Don't waste your talent and your youth to do this boring repeated thing because you're really born to be a leader, right?" So if I meet people like that, I also encourage. Of course, the choice is on them, but I can spot them in my organization
Yeah,
easily. I can tell. Yeah.
that's good. Yeah. So I think this is the key thing, really, to be able to identify now. Of course, some of you will be saying, but I always choose the wrong person.
Oh,
I've got a yeah,
really?
because I'm doing business mentoring now. For those who would like to get my business mentoring, you can go to paulinechio.com. I have a 45 minutes free consultation. Now I'm actually mentoring a business owner. She does signage business, and she recruits people. And every time she has issue recruiting people, I mean, she's really good. She's an introvert. She's good at her job. She's good at
Yeah.
running the business, all right? Coming up with the system, making the operations work, and she has one of the fastest way to turn around. That's her unique selling point, which is her signage business is such that they are really fast in turning around. Like how many days you want it, I can do it for you. All right, and I can
Mm.
fabricate and everything done in a short time, and it's very IT based, right? Because a lot of these signages company are very old school, so they are one of the like and now they are tapping on AI to actually do it. Okay, this is the next step that they want to do. So, but she cannot expand the team because she doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah.
Every time she recruited someone, she let me see the kind of profile. Then after I said, I think this person may not be suitable for your BD side. But I said, how? I've offered him. Then after that, I said, okay, fine. Since you have offered him, like, just do it. And the first project is a $1 million project, right? And what he did was that person supposed to submit like a proposal. And she was like chasing him to submit the proposal. And after, like, for example, he said he's going to give on Friday, but he said he was sick on Friday. Then Saturday, send it to her because she has to submit it on a Monday, right? So that she has that, like, at least the weekend to take a look so that he can submit to the customers or get ready on Monday or Tuesday. So on Saturday, when it came in, it was like a 2 pages PowerPoint. He was like, what? You mean I need to pitch for a project, and after that you just gave like a 2 page PowerPoint, right? And there's not a lot of things in there. So that was where after that she started to realize that she talked to him, counseled him, and he said, okay, I'll resign. See, so he left the job within a week. So it's like, sometimes really as a leader, we really need to understand how to recruit a person. And if you are not good, probably don't have that kind of skill set, I would highly recommend getting someone who's a profession to do it and complement like what Nhi has said. We might be a leader, but we might not be a leader who's good at finding the right talent. That may not be our strength. Even for ourselves, we have to identify what are our strengths, right? So this is where go and find a right HR person to help you with that, right? Or on the other hand, like what she did, she didn't get a really a HR person because the company is really small. She got me instead in the mentoring. So I identify for her. So I'm her mentor and I identify like what is who's suitable, how to place it, strategize, talk to her, and things like that. So I also highly recommend that leaders go find your own coach or mentors to guide you along in this area to find the right players. Yeah, because there are times it's like what you mentioned, not everyone has that kind of a competency to really get the right talent to do so. I mean, thankfully, Nhi, she says this is her talent. And for me, because I was trained in a human resource, right?
Mm.
And I went through a big organization like the Ministry of Defense in Singapore, as well as the Civil Service College and a big organization. So I go through the whole robust system of how a human resource is like. And I've developed human resource programs as well. So that's the reason why I know how to do all this finding of the right talent. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what we are going to share with you today about how a leader, when a leader is no longer the center leading through the ecosystems. So we wish you all the best. And if you have any questions or any comments, feel free to type in your comments below. And if you have any topics that you want us to talk about leadership, also type in below and we will share more with you about our take on leadership. And
Yep.
remember to like, share, and subscribe. See you
See
next
ya.
episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and we are all in YouTube, socials like Insta, FB, TikTok, and remember to watch out for our next video. Bye!